Well, once again, a very warm welcome. It's Tuesday, it's the 2 o'clock, and all things marketing. Now, because I'm here on behalf of the Humber and East Yorkshire LEP, I'm delighted to be able to share a few words all about the work done by the LEP. But today I'm going to introduce myself first, because that's always what are you talking to? So my name is Simon Shepherd. My company is Client Marketing, and today all about marketing strategies. But I'm here on behalf of the Humber, or the Hull and East Yorkshire LEP, and just they have three real strands: their business support, the growth hub, all about startups, and then careers. So you will get a copy of the slides. So I'm going to do this quickety quick, but really it is the one-to-one support, workshops and masterclasses, and then all the digital resources. So if you are based in the Humber region, great thing to do is to become friends with your one-to-one advisor. There we go. So you'll get a copy of that. So there's some great support out there to help businesses. Now, for those of you who are newbies, we always start with a bit of light relief, get us warmed up. Today is quiz time. So fancy a little go on the chat line. It'll take us 5 minutes just to get us going. As always, the prize, if anyone gets them all right, it's Guess the Logo Day. Guess the logo. So, all right. Anyone know whom that logo belongs to? No, is that right English? What that logo belongs to? I don't know. Logo of the company. Oh, someone's in here already. Who's on the chat line? Derek. I never thought you would drive. I know, just joking. Just joking. The brand has certainly improved. It is Skoda. So 1 to Derek. Who's up next on the logo? Whose logo is that? Oh, tell you what, he's on fire today. He's on fire. Wonder what he had for lunch. It is Twitter. Yeah. So what's next on the logo game? A little bit different here. Does anyone know who that belongs to? Any takers? Any takers on that loan? I hope there is. Don't tell me it's Derek again. It is. Don't put a question mark, because you're right. John Deere, the famous tractors. So, number 4 on logo game. Who's going to get to go at that one? Oh, don't tell me Derek's got it right again. He has. Yeah, I tell you, he's on. Goodness gracious, this is a bit easy, isn't it? Yeah, Chewy. Remember those days when we used to go on holiday? They'll be back soon. But before, now it will still be, skeggy it is this time. Right, what have we got? What have we got from this on then? Ha! We're going to catch Derek out. We're going to catch him out. We're going to catch him out. Da, 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 da. We have caught him out. Someone who that one belongs to. Oh, anybody ever go with that? Oh, the two guests. James is in there. Yay! James is right. I can't even say this word. Yeah, you can see it on the screen. Here we go. So well done, James. Next on the logo game. Who does that belong to? Who does that belong to? Anyone going to take the challenge? Yes. There we go. It is indeed. It is indeed Pepsi. Yeah. My first ever job. My first ever job was drilling holes for water. I never told you that before. It was well boring. So anyway, here we go. What's the next logo? Next logo. No, that one is. Any takers on that one? Oh, I hope I'm saying this right. Ayesha, correct? It is indeed. It is indeed none other than Wikipedia. Yes. At my second job after the well boring one, part-time, I used to collect jumpers in the park at a weekend. It wasn't great because they kept moving the goalposts. So Right, let's move on. Right, next on the logo game. We're getting to the webinar in a minute. For those of you who are sitting there thinking, when's this guy going to start? Anyway, what have we got now? What have we got? What's this? What's this? What have we got here? Oh, it is Asia again, and Unilever it is. And look, if you look very carefully at their logo, you see lots of little birdies and animals. You do. And there, the aforementioned Unilever. Right, this is a bit tough. And on keeping the arboreal theme, no less. Whose logo is that? Ha ha! This is not an easy. James, I tell you what. Yeah, Natalie as well, and Amelia. I hope it up. Natalie, Amelia. It is. Nestle. Yeah, wouldn't mind a job there, wouldn't you? Easter. Yeah. Right. I think we're up to the end of the game. What's that? What's the next on the list? Anyone know that one? We must get on with it. Come on. Any takers? What have we got there? Yeah. I tell you what. Yeah. It is. You're right. Yeah. Channel 5. If you're not English, that joke don't come across very well, but there we go. Anyway, let's go now. Where we go? Oh, there's one more. There's one more. Yeah. This one. The last one on the quiz. I think it is the last one. Who's going to get that one? Nobody. Burger King? Burger King? Can't be Burger King. And I know what you're thinking. It is none other than, have you got time for this? Rolex. Yes. So there we go. I think that endeth the lesson. There, let's get on with it. Right. Oh, there's one more. Time flying. Last one before we crack on. Who's going to take a fly at this one? Who's going to take a fly? Oh, all right. NASA. Oh, not quite close. Close, but no cigar. It is none other than Boeing. There we go. You ever get a chance to go in the Boeing factory up there in Seattle? Get the chance. What does he do if you're living in Hull? Right, there's one more. I can't believe it's gone on for hours, isn't it, this quiz? Anyone know that was a really, just the bear there in the mountain. Whose logo is that? Oh, yes, it is, Derek. In any case, and Aisha again. I would say it's Toblerone. Oh, can't be. Yeah, we used to have a big Toblerone at Christmas. Yeah, just go over a skipping rope and a piece of chalk. Yeah, it's great. Those are the days. Anyway, less of this guesting. Thank you for taking part. And today, for the next little while, we're going to talk all about marketing strategies. Yes, it's that's the plan. So, the key thing to think about, first and foremost, your marketing strategy may vary, no less, depending on the buyer's journey and where they are. So they may be at a different stage. Normally, there's a pattern. So, there's an awareness or a consideration or a decision stage. That's the first thing to think about when you're doing a strategy, is what stage is your buyer at? Are you talking to complete strangers or people who have bought from you? Fundamentally, there's only really two ways in which you can grow your business. One is to sell more to your existing, or to get more customers. But you want to know where your customers are in that journey. That's our first sort of ground rule. And really, let's cut to the chase. There's lots of books written on marketing, but fundamentally, and lots of definitions, all big long words and all lots of things, but really marketing is about attracting and keeping customers. There we go. Attracting and keeping customers. So think of it in those really simple terms. And our first in our 15 strategies is outbound marketing. So I hear you crying from afar. What is outbound marketing? Well, many of you will know this. If you have any questions or thoughts, don't forget the chat line is available. And here is the definition. Any kind of marketing where a company initiates the conversation and sends a message out. You are taking the message to your customers. And on the screen now are just some examples of the atypical outbound marketing that you may choose to do. But in bold, there is the word phrase push strategy. So you would like to push a message out. Some people often think that push strategy is intrusive. Think of your first step as outbound marketing. We'll come back to this in a moment or two. And then, by definition, your second is inbound marketing. In effect, the marketing that attracts customers by creating content and experiences, critically, that are tailored for them. So you're thinking about trying to drag people to you, but it has to be relevant. And here are some atypical inbound marketing, or what may be classically known as a pull strategy. So you've got optimization, you've got blogging, retargeting, social media, etc. So I'm just going to things which we'll cover over the next bit of time. So it's push and pull. So the classic push and pull. Now, often say, "Oh, what should I do, outbound or inbound?" Well, bit of both. But when you're trying to draw interest in your organization, your company, your message, whatever it might be, to actually have people come to you is a warmer lead and less intrusive. But often you sometimes have to take the message to the customer, but a combination thereof. So really, the secret very much with inbound marketing is a sort of flywheel effect. You have to attract people, to engage with them and delight them, and it just becomes a continuous circle. If you've got an attractive message and then engaging with the customers, customer service element, and then the principle about delivering a great experience or service, attract, engage, delight. And if you delight somebody, then you'll keep them. And back to the principle about your business growing, because you get more from your existing. The natural place in which to start your marketing. More later. So the key thing then really is to think about your choosing the right strategy for you, and we'll cover this. But really, the question you'll be sitting there is asking, how can you reach your audience? Whether it's push or pull, critically, it is about making a message that is relevant. The idea about if you could invest in a billboard or an advert in a newspaper, and people will skip past it, drive by it, whatever it might be, the old classic, old traditional ways, that you've got to think about what you want to say and what they are interested in. And this is fundamentally market testing. There is a lot of noise out there, and you are fighting for your clients or your prospects' eyeballs. So it doesn't matter what marketing strategy you use, providing you have got a relevant, engaging message that is going to attract people's eyeballs. So before I do anything else, I think very much about your brand and about your message. Because the simpler way of thinking about your marketing is about who your audience is and your message to your audience. And it's good to actually be engaging with your customers to find out if your message is being heard or seen. So let's go on a journey now. Let's go on a journey. Let's talk about all the different aspects of marketing. And let's talk first and foremost about content marketing. What is content marketing? I hear you cry. Well, it comes usually under creating content for your marketing, but here you've got some little examples. So blogs, videos, infographics, and podcasts. Our time is short today, so we're just going to talk first and foremost and largely about blogs. So, a blog. The typical blog post, according to most recent surveys, usually covers the following elements. It isn't just about creating words that you may put onto your website or wherever they may be. I think very much it is about an article or an engaging piece of content. So things like statistics lists, you can see how critical it should include engaging images. Often think of a blog in the same way you think about looking at the Daily Mirror newspaper, for example. Headline, image, engaging first paragraph. That principle, trying to capture people with a picture or the image. In that type of scenario, the Daily Mirror or the other tabloids, it can be humorous, it can be thought-provoking, it could be controversial. But either way, it's about grabbing attention. And just to sort of, without laboring these, some statistics that large percentage of internet users read blogs, and businesses that publish blogs will get more lead growth, and that you're generally likely to get more website visitors with blogs. So it's ever-changing content that's on your website that is there to draw people in, so they can operate also as landing pages. But a blog is worth doing. How often should I blog? Well, that's a tough question to answer. It so much depends on your audience and the nature of the sector you're in. But as a benchmark, a broad brush statement, at least once a month. And here are just some thoughts of the atypical things that you can talk about. The guides on using products, solutions, testimonials, discounts. There's some headlines there that you can put into the blog category. And here on the screen is a great example, and it's relevant for the summer, about a blog. And it's interesting, this particular one. Can you put an in-ground pool in a small backyard? So it's a swimming pool manufacturer. And here you are, they're asking a question with a really interesting image, and off they go. But the good thing about this is that it's very much asking a question, so it's probably very keyword and very Google friendly. It is an American site, so the word in-ground maybe is atypical for North America. But can you put, so it's asking a question and it's a blog. So it isn't necessarily a sales pitch. And a great one here, just to keep up the summer theme, Ben and Jerry's. And here you talk about, oh gosh, I feel hungry now. Almost I feel hungry. Like a milkshake. The other day, I went right here. I came out of they hadn't got any ice creams. I went to the PM, I love a milkshake, 10 o'clock at night. Did you know how many people queuing up? Oh, goodness, I couldn't tell you, but just a quick plug there. Anyway, that's the by the bike. I'll talk about Ben and Jerry's. So look at that, summer milkshakes that will make your day. And look at a fantastic image, not just of the shake, but then the product in the background, and then the fruit in the foreground, and a summer image. Now another summer image, the weekend. Quick sidebar. I saw a fun run. I was looking at this fun run, and just in the competitors at the start, there was a chicken and an egg. And I thought, gosh, this is going to be an interesting contest. So anyway, by the by, let's move on. So think about very much your blogs being attractive there. Image, headline, good content. So you've written a blog. What are you going to do next? Well, on the screen, I don't anticipate going through all these things, is that where you can post your blog in your website, Google My Business, your social media, the likes of Medium and Quora, and also newsletters, lots of guest blogging there, lots of places where your blog can reside to draw traffic and inbound links. But we have covered that in previous webinars. I'll just touch upon it today. So I think we're down. We've done content marketing. Let's talk, next on the list, search engine marketing. Oh, searches. We did have a webinar last week all about SEO. So for those who attended, a little bit here. You've really got three typical searches. This is search engine optimization: informational, navigational, transactional. Navigation, someone's looking for something. Navigational, very specific, looking for a particular website, and transactional, wanting to buy. So think of your optimization in those terms. Once you've done that, you then have to think about the intent of your potential customers. What are they looking for? So any one of those three: navigational, informational, and then you're going to probably draft up the likely keywords into those three categories: navigational, transactional, etc. This is very much a quickety-quick guide. And then once you've got your phrases and your buckets of keywords into the different pots, how about then doing some keyword research? And you can use tools like the Google Keyword Tool, Moz Explorer, SEM Rush, Ubersuggest, WordStream. Plenty out there, worth Googling those. And then put your key phrases in those particular tools. And they will tell you all about the competition and all about the volumetric numbers of searches. So you'll then end up with a load of keywords, key phrases you may wish to put in your blogs or on your copy. And then you will use on-page optimization, of which you'll see in front of your very eyes. So you'll optimize the page title, which you can see there. We're talking about great series actionable, and also then within the meta description. You may be putting in not a description of your company, but very much choosing the keywords or the key phrases to optimize. Look at doing your bucket list, look at creating keywords, doing your research, and then you're going to optimize. And then you'll not just optimize your page titles or your meta descriptions, you'll also optimize the header tags, which are often known as H1, H2, the content in your website, and then also the images that you may put on your website or within your blog, often known as alt text. So research, find the keywords, put them on your page. And I'm not intending to share this. I did share this last week. This is probably the best example of a well-optimized page. If you don't have time today, you're going to have to wait for the slides to arrive in your inbox later. It's a great example of the type of targeted keywords and the text you can use for good old search engine marketing. So, how far have we got? We've gone through a whistle-stop tour of search engine and content marketing. We now talk video marketing. Now look at that. The most popular content during the pandemic. Not the 2020 pandemic, the 2020 and 21. But really, if you're thinking about creating video content, please think of it in very much making your material entertaining. So whatever you do, talking heads, whatever it might be, cartoons, you name it, you see what people are absorbing. But critically, think that your videos are entertaining and informational, and if you can make it relatable and even support-based, which like the likes of British Gas do to help you with your boiler. These are the things to do when you're creating content. Trial and error. It doesn't matter if it looks like the Blair Witch Project, that may well be your brand and your style. And then once you've created your video, you can see on the screen the places that go, that social channels that people post videos to. Naturally, YouTube as a Google product is a great place to put that, but you can see the growth of TikTok and Snapchat. But you can create video and place it across all your channels. Maybe a slight variant somewhere, but you can see where you go, that people will post video. Maybe also, if your client base isn't potentially Instagram or TikTok centric, you won't probably choose to put it there. but creating great video content, entertaining and placed in the right channels is the name of the game. And we have done webinars previously on video marketing, and they're available coming up on both my YouTube channel, but also the Humber and East Yorkshire. So if you fancy a little rewatch, don't watch them tomorrow night though. I know what you'll be doing tomorrow. 8 o'clock, a big match. Let's hope it doesn't go to penalties. Right, next on our list, affiliate marketing. What is affiliate marketing, I hear you ask? Well, I'm going to describe it in one picture. There we go. Gosh, what a series of successful ads, characters, narrative, humor, call it what you will, but they are, Compare the Market is an affiliate. They don't sell insurance. They don't do lots of things. But what they do, they act as a portal, and they make their money from directing you to a insurer or other provider and take a cut. So that is an affiliate. You may wish to think that irrespective of which kind of sector you may be in, they will maybe an affiliate. A good example is in like the tourism sector. Welcome to Yorkshire is a good example. So you've seen it in insurance here, elsewhere. There's lots of affiliates out there, or you can become an affiliate yourself. And affiliates work this way. It's basically connecting website owners with brands. That's what it's doing. And they publish that, and they will earn money for every time somebody clicks. So, you know, they will have Welcome to Yorkshire, far more traffic than probably a English heritage site or a local tourist attraction. To give you an example, and the principles of all the major insurers as well. So they make their money doing things in different ways. So there's an opportunity for both the affiliate to make money. So you may want to think about that as well, not just being affiliated, but to be an affiliate. Won't dwell too much on that because you've got a copy of that as well. So that's a very quick mention of affiliate marketing. So where are we on our list? I don't know what number this is, but influencer marketing. Well, excuse me, influencer marketing has been around as long as, goodness gracious, as long as a long time. So for those of you old enough to remember, who remembers things like our Henry? That was a feeble impression. But the likes of celebrity endorsements, famous people doing adverts like our Henry with his Brute, and Gary Lineker with his Walker's Crisps, and George Clooney with his coffee, all these Warburtons now. And you can go through all sorts of people there who would act as influencers. We saw it on television in that way, and lesser extent on radio or in the printed press, but it's moved now very much to social media. Maybe not choosing the A-list celebrities, but lots of smaller influencers. So on the screen is a classic example here of an Instagram influence there. Photographer, marine biologist, is doing a great picture, and they are, they're there working alongside National Geographic. Do you think that there are lots of small micro influencers or even large influencers? It's really for you to identify the people or companies within your particular sector who have a bigger audience, a more influential audience than you may have. So, for example, a client of mine is a brewery, and they make believe it or not, they make beer, and they engage with local micro influencers, people who are authorities perceived in that particular sector, who may be commenting and talking all about beer, and people will follow other people's advice and thoughts. So the question often asked is how to find these social media micro influencers for your business. You might need some help to find them. And here is a classic. Just a simple Google search. For those of you who are into organic food, you may choose just to make a very simple search, and you will find potential influencers who you can approach directly or tag them in, mention them in your posts. And you can also search on the same time, the same thematic. Food, type in food bloggers, and you may find the people that you can start to follow on social media, start to engage on social media to do that. And many businesses who are selling particular products or health food or whatever it might be are often sending their products to these influencers, hoping that they'll try them and mention them. We're trying to get introductions to those. So it's certainly a market if you are an influencer or you're looking for influence, because it is about getting a helping hand, and it is an integral part of social media marketing. It's influencer marketing. So we've moved on to outreach marketing, which you could argue is a brother of influencer marketing. Here, you're very much looking, not in a dissimilar way to influencers, but you are looking for partners, people you can work with, people you can collaborate with. No man is an island. Wasn't Hemingway who wrote that? So you are looking to partner with people outside your business in order to promote your product or service. Fish and chips type scenario. There's Laurel and Hardy, call it what you will. It's about you partnering with another business. Very common in marketing and also in the building trade. Many other places that you will work often in conjunction with someone else. But you can do it in different ways. So often you're looking for influencers, you're looking for bloggers and journalists, stakeholders, and other businesses who may be your next door neighbor or one of your local village or town, someone who's in a similar area, but ultimately you're looking for some form of collaboration. You've seen that in the likes of the circular economy and elsewhere, that there's always somebody in which you may be able to work with, and it may be even as informal as each of you sharing and liking and commenting on each other's social media, some kind of tacit agreement between you. But sometimes there may be projects that you wish to work together, bid for, etc. So think about who you may wish to partner with. It's a great thing to do if you are a small startup or micro business. So we move along. We're now going to talk a little bit about email marketing. Now, a few tips on how to make some effective email campaigns. And just 5 things, really. First and foremost, please make sure your database is updated and in conjunction with data protection, GDPR, but also to look about the quality of your data. And you'll see on the screen, there's 3 different places to go to programs and systems to use: Zero Bounce, Zero Leads. I was going to say a third one, but I can't pronounce it. Well, they can look at detecting invalid subscriber addresses. So look at the quality of the data you have, first and foremost. The next thing I highly recommend is then to segment any data. It may be back to the principle about the buyer journey. Those of you at the start, or maybe existing customers, but it can be segmented in so many different ways: gender, age, frequency, where they are in the journey, any change in behavior. So one thing, naturally, for a lot of businesses, like I'm speaking today from one of my particular clients, and they are going through exercise at the moment of analyzing all dormant customers. So about 100 odd customers, and they're looking at analyzing those dormant customers, and they'll send a message out, not please come back, but it's touching base with them. So you may segment in that way. Now, third thing, after you've updated and segmented, is to avoid free sender domains. What do you mean? Well, avoid sending things out from a Gmail or a Yahoo account. Please, if you're using the likes of programs such as MailChimp, use the company domain. because it is going to be better to go through all the different filters. And then it's the authentication of your emails and to avoid you being a spammer. And this is where an email server will focus on the legitimacy of the content, who the email's from, how secure it is. And there's 3 methods of email authentication: SPF, DMARC, DKIM, great ways in which you can get your email authenticated. So, it's about making sure, in layman's terms, you can get through the door. So, very quick that was, and you got to think about all the different subjects of email marketing. And you've got to try and create the impression. So what's wrong with using GIFs as a way, rather than just the tired old text, or just providing information in your emails? Again, it's a great image and asking a question. And here, you're providing an update. So there's a credit company there, fresh credit score in the air. All about, as I saw earlier with the blogs, headline, image, thought-provoking, really well formatted. The email marketing should ideally follow that particular path. And you can see here, for visuals, it's very visual. But sometimes you, rather than trying to get your message out in numerous words, video, GIFs, images should probably be the forefront of your email marketing campaigns. So, after email marketing comes one of my favorite methods of marketing, the good old guerrilla marketing. So, here's an example. Look at that. I got this twice they've been mentioned today. The Big M. I know they've got a bigger budget than you and I. We know that. But again, a very powerful way in which you can adopt guerrilla marketing. Taking, in effect, your message and putting it in front of that classic outbound marketing. And so just some examples that was very relevant there. Casinos using the airport luggage when we used to go. I remember the first one I saw many years ago when I was traveling in South America, was seeing luggage that was static with advertising on. But again, it just is taking file message. Your audience is standing there. You see it at petrol pumps as well. And even what's wrong with something very, very simple? May get washed away. We would have done it. You didn't wear the last night. If your audience and you're looking for foot traffic, why not? Why not right on the pavement? Or how about the good old mural? Lots of different ways. Or even how clever is that? The barbecue season as well. Isn't sweet corn nice on the barbecue? And you put it there, the old husk things, and off you go. Yeah. I'm not much of a cook. I actually use the smoke alarm as a timer. So we moved on from guerrilla marketing to probably the most powerful form of marketing: word of mouth. Word of mouth. Now, word of mouth doesn't just happen. You've got to make it happen. So really here, word is that if you enchant your customers, the recommendations will follow. And it's building up social proof. You give somebody a great service, give them a great product, and you want to encourage a review. Often you just have to ask. So always ask for a review. So if you really enjoyed today, you know where to find me. So think about, so from an optimization perspective, and probably the most powerful reviews would be Google reviews through Google My Business. So you can go into Google My Business, set up, get the link, and send it to your clients. They can provide a Google review, and you answer it, and you share it. You're building up social proof, which is a form of word of mouth. When you've got Google reviews, Trustpilot, TripAdvisor, Amazon, eBay, you name it, we're largely influenced by that, which is probably the most 21st century form of word of mouth marketing. please, please, please ask for reviews. And in our list of 15 marketing strategies, how about referral marketing, which is could be a subcategory, could well be a subcategory of word of mouth. Your clients may well turn out to be advocates. You go from suspects to prospects to customers to advocates. The most powerful form of marketing is not undertaken by you. It's undertaken by your clients becoming your advocates. And the issues of reviews, customers with great experiences are likely to become advocates. There's a downside, because how many people out there don't do a good job and they get the old poison pen out there and the keyboard warriors. But it's new numbers game. So you get a greater number of reviews, the advocates. Critically, ask for referrals from your clients. The likes of Airbnb do this, and also referral programs. It's quite common for Sky and BT and all those companies refer somebody. And what's wrong with a good old quid pro quo? Do somebody a favor, they'll do you a favor. But probably the biggest single thing any small business could do is to ask for referrals. That is, get people referring rather than just waiting for it to happen. Which then comes on to retention marketing. Because, as I mentioned earlier, it's much easier to retain a customer than to actually find a new one. So your principal aim in your business is to keep your existing customers. Much cheaper, much quicker, to get more from your existing than to seek that. So it's very much a bird in the hand is worth 4 in the bush. It's so much easier to keep hold of one. It's estimated the 1 to 4 ratio in trying to get new people into the business or to buying, as opposed to keeping hold of existing. So please think all the time about how to nurture your customers. I'll just give you some little tips on 4 or 5 things to do. You really all the time thinking about the value you can get from them. So if you're selling them product or marketing them, they're buying product A, you want them to keep buying product A, but maybe also to take product B that's an ancillary. So you want to maximize the value. There's offers and deals there to get them to also buy something else. All the time you may be thinking about, whether it's email or through social media, whatever channel, to give the clients useful information. They are a captive audience. So a good example of this, if you're a hotel and you've got an existing customer database, you can forward them offers of Christmas or Easter or summer or meals or whatever it might be. Always be providing information, even if it's on their COVID protocols and the latest changes. Now, how many of you, come on, put your hands up, come on, put your hands up. If you don't communicate with your customers as often as you should do, my hand's going up, it is regular contact. But we don't stalk, we don't do the old stalking routine, but there is keeping in regular contact. A lot of customers leave businesses because they feel unloved. But regular contact, and you cannot beat the old-fashioned thank you and follow up, especially if it's a first-time customer. And then very much to think about, you'll know a lot if you've got the data about the alignment of you and your customers. There's absolutely no harm at all in focus groups, liaising with your customers to do this, to show them the future, things that you are working on. I have a client who's a plumber, plumbing business, not, you could argue, the most exciting, but all the time liaising with their customers about ground source heat pumps, air source heat pumps, smart meters, trying to introduce to the client base, educating their customers on the future. Now, those things I mentioned are the here now, but for many, they are the future. Never make the assumption that with the intention of trying to save their customers money, manage their bills. Show them the future. Show me the money, to quote Tom. And, not finally, I think we're not up to 15 yet. Never forget that the world is changing. So many people are accessing information, not just through what we did, traditional desktops, but in this situation, you may have to flex your muscles and provide a slightly different message to the mobile than you do to elsewhere. So thinking about reaching the mobile, it is your customers, geofencing, all the things that you can be doing in terms of the technological things to mobile marketing. I think that was number 15, but it wasn't, because I think we're up to relationship marketing. And this is very much about having a CRM system or a CRM mentality. So you have data on your clients. And just to shout out one for small businesses, many will use the likes of, there are others like Zoho, etc. You use a tool like HubSpot, which is free. It's got all the social media features. You can integrate it with website. You can do so much with that. But ultimately, it acts as a database and a holder of data, all cloud-based, and will help you. You can see who is buying, who is not buying, and integrate it and make this a one-stop shop to undertake relationship marketing. It is marketing automation. I think we're going to conclude with two things for our 15, because our time is nearly up. Stealth marketing. What's stealth marketing, Simon? Well, this is stealth marketing, a slightly light-hearted thing, but you'll be surprised how many television programs and films. I know it's not quite James Bond where companies are paying money to be on the screen, but there's lots of places to go where you may wish to be donating things to appear on screen. So think about stealth marketing, or just working with charities or wherever it might be, to get your product, your service, your operation in front of eyeballs. And don't forget, there's a seasonality to marketing as well. You've probably seen as recently with the likes of Father's Day and with the likes of the Happy Pride, the Pride Month, always taking the opportunity to think about stuff you can be doing right now. Well, what's staring us in the face now? Wimbledon, British Grand Prix, Euros, so much happening, eating strawberries, you name it, lots happening in June and July and moving forward. The calendar is set. I think that you may wish to adapt your marketing depending on the seasonality. And this is where you can probably get the best bang in terms of your social media engagement as well. Which, talking of, he says, there endeth the lesson, because I think that was 15, or maybe more. If it was more than 15, I've certainly added some value. Because next Tuesday, we're all going to be talking about social media engagement. So, in 3/4 of an hour, I would like to thank you for attending today's soiree. I certainly hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you've learned. You will be getting a copy of the slides. You'll be getting a copy of the recording. And I'm now going to go and whiz along to have a little look at what may be on the chat line. Has somebody asked some insightful questions? I don't know. The last thing on the chat line was Toblerone. So you've all been sitting there entranced, or you've nodded off. I don't know which one it is, but if there are any questions there, I'm happy to take them. If not, it'll be home time. A quick sip. Any more for any more? He's staring expectantly at the chat line to see if there's anything. If not, any more? No questions, but James, you're more than welcome. Thank you for attending. And thank you to everybody. We'll be here. We never go far. Tuesday, 2 o'clock. New material next week. All about social media. Be more than welcome. Quick and interesting. That said, someone said that to me before, but in a different context. Right, risky a bit then. Right.